The real heiress, the whole school is in an uproar. During the most difficult times, I started a food delivery service for boarding students at school. I earned 1 yuan per order, which helped me make over 500 yuan a day. Then, wealthy parents arrived, claiming I was their real daughter, who had been switched at birth. The fake heiress, in an attempt to drive me away, sabotaged my food delivery business and went to the principal to get me expelled. Realizing I couldn't confront her, I decided to pack my bags and return to my hometown. However, a few days later, the principal came to my house with a basket full of fruits. "I won't expel you anymore. Please come back to school. If you don't bring food, the boarding students will surely cause a huge commotion." Only later did I understand how furious the boarding students were when I was suspended. I had passed the provincial key high school entrance exam with the highest score in the city. The tuition fee for 1 semester was 10,000 yuan. Meanwhile, a high school in my county only charged half the tuition and offered free meals. It took me 0.01 seconds to decide to attend the county school. On registration day, my mother suddenly started packing my bags and dragged me onto a train. When we got off, she immediately went to the provincial key high school to register and pay the tuition. My mother said, "Since you're capable of passing the exam, I can't let you study at a county school." As she said this, her eyes were resolute, allowing no room for objection. Soon after, her demeanor softened. After paying the tuition, she only had 1,000 yuan left. Thinking we were already there, my mother and I decided to use the remaining money to rent a small 20-square-meter apartment near the school. After settling in, my mother immediately started looking for work. I focused on my studies to prepare for the initial placement exam. When school started, I scored almost enough to get into the top class. My mother was overjoyed and worked even harder. After her shift at the hot pot restaurant, she would also go make deliveries. Seeing my mother struggle so much, I also started thinking of ways to earn money at school. While I was pondering, Chen Yunyun, the top student in my class, suddenly had a blood sugar drop. I quickly gave him a white rabbit candy. After recovering, Chen Yunyun thanked me, but his stomach rumbled at an inopportune moment. I shared half of my breakfast with him. While eating, Chen Yunyun suddenly said, "From now on, could you help me buy food? I'm busy with homework and don't have time to eat." I agreed. But that evening, when Chen Yunyun sent me his order list, I was shocked. 20 pickled cabbage steamed buns, 20 beef steamed buns, 15 red bean buns, 20 fried dough sticks, 15 tea eggs, 30 cups of soy milk, 15 bowls of 8 treasures porridge. I quickly scanned the screen. "Seriously, dude, are you a gluttonous monster?" "Chen Yunyun," he apologized. "I told my dorm mates about you helping me buy food, and many of them want your help too." Suddenly, an idea sparked in my mind. I could start a food delivery service within the school. I had observed that apart from the wealthy second-generation kids, most students at school were boarders. I was too poor to afford the boarding fees, making me the only student who went home after school. Moreover, the cafeteria often served bizarre dishes like stir-fried bitter melon with strawberries or tangerines with biscuits. Just hearing about them made me queasy. The boarding students were truly suffering. A food delivery business had a lot of potential. I immediately contacted a breakfast shop near the school and sent them the list. The owner asked for confirmation 3 times to make sure I wasn't joking before accepting payment. The next day, I carried big and small bags to the school gate. Even my backpack was stuffed with hot steamed buns. The security guard surprisingly stopped me. "Outside food is not allowed." I was stunned, quickly pulled out my student ID, and explained, "Uncle, I'm a student, remember?" The guard gave an awkward smile and didn't stop me anymore. As soon as I entered the academic area, I felt all eyes on me. Their eyes lit up like 7 hungry wolves who hadn't eaten for days. When I arrived at class, as soon as I put down the food, everyone immediately surrounded me. They handed me money to get their food right away. With Chen Yunyun's recommendation, my customer base grew. Initially, it was just 10th grade students, then 11th and 12th graders also sought me out to buy food. My business flourished, not just breakfast but also lunch, dinner, and late-night snacks. And so, my food delivery stall officially opened at school. Even the students from the sports class next door heard about it. Yunyun was the first to approach me. He was a national athlete, often representing the school in competitions. I heard he had won so many trophies he couldn't even count them. He even had a big cabbage that could be used as a bowl. Yunyun told me that whenever he returned from a competition, the cafeteria would be out of food, leaving him so hungry his stomach growled. His family lived in another province, so he had no parents nearby. His coach was always there to supervise and didn't let him wander around. He was almost clearing out the school's small supermarket of snacks and candies. You don't know, eating too much instant noodles makes my throat raw. He had been leaving food orders for me for a whole year, even transferring meal money to me. I couldn't help but admire him. Athletes truly eat a lot. Every meal, he had to eat 2 portions of braised pork rice, a serving of steamed buns, and a large bowl of soup. Yunyun usually returned in the afternoon, so I asked my mother to buy a few insulated containers to keep his food warm. When he returned, he could still enjoy a hot meal. Yunyun was very touched, eating and crying at the same time. "Bai Jiu, you're so kind." I looked at him suspiciously. He chewed his mouthful of rice and repeated, "Bai Jiu, you're really good." He told me I treated him even better than his own mother. After eating, he dutifully washed the insulated containers and returned them to me. Thanks to this, Yunyun and I became close. When there were no tournaments, he helped me organize order information. One afternoon, I was biting into a rice paper roll on my way to class when I suddenly saw Zia Kiffin, a rich second-generation kid, stepping out of a nanny van and casually tossing his lunchbox into the trash. I heard his family was extremely wealthy. The school's dormitory area was donated by his family. He was also quite handsome. I secretly looked a few times but was caught. Zia Kiffin called out to me, "Hey, you, come here." I regretfully walked over. If I had known, I wouldn't have looked. I heard that wealthy kids often have bad personalities. Nevertheless, I sincerely flattered him. "Hello, young master, I am Bai Jiu." Zia Kiffin just smirked. "I've heard about you. What are you eating?" "Just a sandwich." "Is it good?" "It's definitely good. I bought this sandwich from a handmade shop, not the frozen kind. It also has shredded potatoes and crispy strips. It's indescribably delicious." Zia Kiffin took out a pink bill. "Aren't you working? Go buy me one. The rest is your commission." My hands trembled as I took the money. I was very excited. This was a highly profitable order. If he frequently asked me, I would make a lot of money. "All right, young master, I'll bring it to you later. I'm in the 11th grade. 11th grade, class 1. I know. Everyone knew information about wealthy people like him. I quickly bought the sandwich, carefully carrying it as if it were a precious item, then brought it to Zia Kiffin. "Young master, your sandwich is still hot." Zia Kiffin took the sandwich, glanced at it, then took a small bite. Immediately, his eyes widened and he took a bigger bite. Zia Kiffin was usually very elegant, but now he didn't care about the sauce on his face. In just 2 minutes, he finished the sandwich. After eating, he exclaimed, "Wow, it's so delicious. Better than the bland food my nanny makes at home." I secretly chuckled. He truly was a country bumpkin who hadn't experienced the real world. Zia Kiffin immediately added me on WeChat, telling me to buy him more food that afternoon. Looking at the 5,000 yuan that had just been transferred, I almost burst out laughing. So, I, someone who loves to eat, would take him to explore all the delicious foods. Don't ask why I took so much money. It's money from a wealthy person. It would be a waste not to take it. That afternoon, I brought Zia Kiffin fried chicken and super spicy stir-fried noodles. Zia Kiffin ate until his nose was running, constantly gasping, but he still couldn't bear to put down his chopsticks. Since then, I became his errand runner. Zia Kiffin just gave me money, without asking for anything or making any demands. Under my guidance, Zia Kiffin got to taste clay pot hot pot with oil-soaked steamed buns in a tiny alley. He also experienced street-side hot pot served only in the evenings, and the sour and spicy Liuzhou snail noodles that I loved, accompanied by fried eggs drenched in the broth. In less than a week, Zia Kiffin was completely captivated by my eating aura. Every day, he would cling to me, asking me to find delicious foods. Thanks to my flourishing business, I could fully afford my tuition fees. We moved into an apartment with 1 bedroom and 1 living room, about 40 square meters. However, my mother still didn't quit her job at the hot pot restaurant. She said she needed to save for my future. My mother supported my work, and I also supported her decision. One day, in my 11th grade year, when I came home from school, I saw a luxury car and an electric scooter parked outside our house. My mother, who should have been at the hot pot restaurant, had come home early. On the sofa were a well-dressed woman and a middle-aged man. As soon as she saw me, the woman burst into tears and said, Our daughter, why are you so thin? You must have suffered so much. I don't understand what's happening. Jiyu, my mother said, her voice trembling, these two are your biological parents. You were swapped at birth. I immediately rejected the wealthy couple. I won't go with you two. Please leave. The man looked at me and said, you are a smart child. If you come to our house, we can provide you with the best educational environment, develop all your interests, and help you live a life free from financial worries. Please think carefully. I still shook my head and refused. The woman cried more and more, and the man sighed, deciding to leave first. My mother firmly made me go down to see them off. I just silently followed behind. But when the woman was about to get in the car, my mother quickly pushed me inside. At that moment, I wanted to run out, but the other two quickly blocked my way. I didn't understand. She was my biological mother. Why would she push me away like that? I gritted my teeth, looking at her with hatred. As the car started to move, my mother stayed behind, covering her face and sobbing uncontrollably. I had forgiven my mother. I didn't remember much of what the man had said earlier, but my mother had heard clearly. In the car, the woman reminded me, even though you are my biological daughter, we have no feelings for each other. Chen Yunyun, I have raised her for 18 years. I only consider her my daughter. You should not cause trouble or compete for affection. I pouted. These parents were exactly like characters in novels. To appease their conscience, they take a child back but then declare they only love their original daughter, and together they bully the real heiress. How fake. Arriving at the new house, I was dizzy from the villa's splendor. I must bring my mother to live in a house like this. Chen Yunyun had fainted from not being able to bear the truth. The villa was chaotic. I found a quiet corner to do my homework. After Chen Yunyun woke up, her mother promised that they would not change my surname and would not register my residency. However, Chen Yunyun still targeted me. Perhaps to warn me, I was placed in the smallest room, but it was still much larger than the house my mother and I were renting. I pulled out my phone and sent messages asking everyone what they wanted to order for breakfast tomorrow. This time, without my mother's help and being in the suburbs, I would have to wake up an hour earlier to buy food. But the next morning, as I prepared to leave after getting ready, I discovered that my room door was locked. I wasn't worried about missing homework because Shen Qinghua would help me. The only thing that worried me was the hungry boarding students at school. For a business like ours, reputation is very important. I started knocking on the door and shouting, but everyone in the villa seemed not to hear. No one paid any attention to me. I had no choice but to send a message in the group chat. Sorry everyone, I can't buy food today. I'll refund everyone's money. The group immediately had many reactions. Mom, I'm so hungry, I want to eat. Why, my beloved egg roll, why must I be separated from you for a day? My eyes are already watering, brothers and sisters. I was about to reply when I realized the chat group had been locked. Many people immediately came to ask me what had happened. I felt confused. The chat group, created by a model citizen like me, had no gambling or vices, just a few mischievous young people. How could it be locked? I didn't know how to exit the chat group interface. Shen Qinghua had sent a message a minute ago. What's wrong? Are you sick? Why are you silent? Do you have a fever? Where's your house? I'll bring medicine. I hastily replied that I wasn't sick and told him to focus on his studies. Remember to eat properly. Don't let your blood sugar drop and faint again. Shen Qinghua asked me to take a photo as proof that I wasn't sick before he would be at peace. Then he Ningyuan sent a message. Is something wrong? Did someone bully you? Tell me, I'll handle it. I didn't tell him what had happened. Otherwise, he would remember it for a long time and might mess everything up. Before, there was a classmate who didn't have money to eat, and he Ningyuan immediately refused to take orders from that entire class, causing me to lose a few dozen yuan. Only when that student apologized to me did he agree to take orders. Furthermore, the matter of the real heiress and the fake heiress was better known by as few people as possible. I had no intention of staying at the Chen family's house and didn't want to cause trouble with Chen Yunyun, so I had to invent a reason to get through it. I'm fine. I felt unwell today and asked for leave. The other party sent back a photo of himself in a competition. I didn't want to bother him, so I didn't reply. Soon after, Zia Kiffin called. His voice became serious. I already know about the Chen family situation. Will you continue to buy food to earn money later? Will I still see you? Such rumors in high society spread quickly. It was not strange for Zia Kiffin to know, but what worried me was that he was 1 grade older than me and would graduate in only 3 months. During this time, he loved to eat even more. Every day he had to eat breakfast, a morning snack, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, and even a late-night snack. I was really worried he would become a chubby kid. I thought for a moment and then seriously replied, "I will still continue to buy food. It's just that today I'm locked in my room and can't go out. Today you go to the alley to eat yourself. I've already ordered food. You should eat less." Zia Kiffin didn't know what to do and stopped replying to my messages. I felt bored and sat on the floor. Suddenly, I received a message from Chen Yunyun. "This is just the beginning of sabotaging your work. If you know what's good for you, get out of my sight." I was truly speechless. She had locked me up. How could I leave? It seemed that the trouble in the chat group was also caused by her. She had cut off someone else's source of income. How disgusting. I was so angry I stood up, but immediately felt dizzy. I quickly fumbled and sat back down on the chair. My 18-year-old body felt like it was 80 years old. After a moment of rest, I heard a knock on the window. This was the 3rd floor. I trembled as I walked to the window. It turned out to be Zia Kiffin standing outside. He was on a forklift. "Sorry, I was in a hurry, so I could only rent this vehicle." Thanks to Zia Kiffin, I finally escaped the villa. "Thank you, wait for me to get to school first. I haven't asked for leave today, so it counts as skipping class. I wonder if the teachers will scold me." As soon as I got in the car, I saw a familiar figure. Shen Qinghua, panting, ran in front of me. After observing me from head to toe, he finally spoke. "Although I don't know why you're at Chen Yunyun's house, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to as long as you're okay." I asked in surprise. "How did you know I was here?" "Shen Qinghua, the background of the photo wasn't your house, but it looked familiar, very similar to photos on Chen Yunyun's social media. It seems he has a detective knack." Zia Kiffin next to him asked, "What photo? Why didn't you send it to me? I don't care. If he has it, I must have it too." Shen Qinghua blocked my way. "What right do you have to demand to see it? And what right do you have? Who are you? Who are you?" The two of them suddenly argued like children. I just rolled my eyes and pushed both of them into the car. I told the driver, "Please, uncle, wait for us to get to school. Thank you." Throughout the journey, I had to endure the noise. At the school gate, I unexpectedly met Heiress. "Aren't you competing?" Heiress just shrugged. "I'm only representing the school. It's not my personal competition. Besides, what competition is more important than you? Are you unwell? Should I take you to the hospital?" I quickly walked into the school. "I'm fine now." Chen Yunyun saw me arrive safely in class. She almost went mad. After class, she led a group of people to surround me in the bathroom, a typical school bullying incident. Luckily, I reacted quickly, avoiding the bucket of dirty water, but there were too many people. They restrained me. Chen Yunyun immediately slapped me. "I warned you, only I am the Chen family's daughter. Get back to your place." She thrust a photo on her phone into my face. My eyes widened. In the photo, my mother was bending down, cleaning a dirty table. "This is your cheap mother, isn't it? Thinking about having a mother like that makes me sick." Chen Yunyun threatened, "Working at a hot pot restaurant is very dangerous. Be careful not to have a whole pot of hot pot water splashed on you someday." Honestly, no matter how difficult Chen Yunyun made things for me, I didn't care. After all, when we graduated, we would go our separate ways, and I had no intention of becoming a young miss of the Chen family. But now she was making fun of my mother. I suddenly spat at the girl on the right. I remembered that girl loved beauty very much. She immediately looked disgusted, let go of me, and ran to the side to wipe off the spit. Taking advantage of that, I broke free, grabbed a mop from the corner, and dipped it in the dirty water. Then I indiscriminately attacked all of them. The others saw the scene, screamed in fear, and scrambled out. Chen Yunyun also fell to the ground, constantly backing away. I threw the mop away, climbed on top of her, and punished her with a few slaps. "If you continue to follow my mother, I'll shove this mop in your mouth." Chen Yunyun was so terrified she went pale. She cried and rushed out, threatening to report me to the principal to get me expelled. Outside, many people were watching, all looking at me with eyes that said, "You're finished." I scoffed. On what grounds would the principal listen to her? Someone unexpectedly spoke up, "Because the principal is her uncle." My heart twisted, but alongside the fear, I felt a lot of hatred. I hated that I didn't have a background or power like Chen Yunyun, hated that I had no one to protect me. Indeed, when school ended, my homeroom teacher called me into the office and advised me to drop out. I disagreed, so they decided to suspend me for a month. I understood that this was a prolonged battle, and I couldn't afford to lose. But what I didn't foresee was that as soon as the news of my suspension was announced, Chen Yunyun started packing his bags to transfer schools. He said, "I've been accepted into Tsinghua through the physics Olympiad. I'll follow Bai Jiyu to whatever school she attends." Yunyun constantly pleaded in the principal's office, "If you want me to help the school win the competition, let Bai Jiyu come back." The students in the sports class, who all listened to Yunyun, immediately went on strike, refusing to participate in any competitions. As for Zia Kiffin, he directly halted the school's construction projects. "If no food is delivered from Bai Jiyu's house within the next 3 days, don't expect the school to receive another penny of investment." The principal in his office looked at this magnate, sweating profusely, but everything that followed spiraled beyond his control. The students I had helped buy food for before sought out Chen Yunyun. That day, her desk always had some small animals in it, and when she went to the bathroom, people would pour water on her. Chen Yunyun couldn't stand it and voluntarily dropped out. The female students who had followed her to bully me were shunned by everyone. Many 12th grade students, right before their college entrance exams, collectively submitted transfer applications. Their academic achievements either led them to famous universities or placed them in the top 985 to 11 schools. The school relied on these students to boost its university admission rate and maintain its title as a provincial key high school. Now, their collective request for transfer made the principal very anxious. Although the principal was Chen Yunyun's uncle, he couldn't make a wrong decision that could affect the school's reputation for emotional reasons. He decided to delegate this responsibility to Chen Yunyun's parents. After being suspended, I didn't return home. Instead, I bought a portion of porridge and went straight to Mr. Chen's company. The assistant led me into the office. Mr. Chen said nothing, seemingly oblivious to my presence. I sat silently on the sofa, clutching the box of porridge and staring at him. Perhaps my gaze was too intense, causing Mr. Chen to pause his work. "I know my daughter has been harassing you at school. Are you here to complain?" I shook my head. If someone else stole my parents, I wouldn't treat them well either. Finally, Mr. Chen looked up at me. "So, why did you come to see me?" When our eyes met, I involuntarily lowered my head. After a moment of silence, I spoke. "I didn't have a father since I was little. I just wanted to know what my father looked like. If I'm bothering you, I can leave," I said, preparing to stand up. Mr. Chen interrupted me. "What are you holding?" "Fresh chestnut porridge." "I heard from home that you're busy with work and often forget to eat, so your stomach isn't well." Mr. Chen stood up and sat opposite me. "Then open it and taste it. It won't be good if it gets cold." I opened the insulated box and poured out the porridge. Mr. Chen said nothing, just took the bowl of porridge and slowly enjoyed it. Before coming, I had researched that Chen Yunyun was spoiled from a young age and was completely unaware of the difficulties her father was facing. Last night, he had liked a video of a daughter eating with her father. To resolve my difficult situation, causing trouble with Chen Yunyun was ineffective. The important thing was for me to gain equal rights with her. After eating with Mr. Chen, I immediately headed to the club where Mrs. Chen was meeting. Every week, Mrs. Chen gathered with women from her circle on Wednesdays at the club. When I arrived, they were enjoying a meal. I hesitantly knocked on the door and stood silently at the entrance. Seeing me, Mrs. Chen's expression suddenly became displeased. She rushed forward and asked what I was doing there. I lowered my head, looking at my shoes. "Auntie Chen, the teacher wants to invite parents and my mother has returned to our hometown. I could only come to you." I spoke just loud enough for everyone in the room to hear. As Mrs. Chen was about to refuse me, a lady in a green dress suddenly spoke up. "Ling, what's wrong? Why is this child here to invite parents?" When someone spoke up, the conversation began to buzz. In fact, they were well aware of the situation of the real heiress and the fake heiress of the Chen family. It was just for delicate reasons that no one had brought it up before. But now that the information had reached them, no one could suppress their curiosity. A group of wealthy ladies buzzed, asking Mrs. Chen about the situation. Mrs. Chen had no choice but to lead me inside. On the table were exquisite dishes I had never seen before. I licked my lips and lowered my head. The lady in the green dress saw this and placed a lobster in front of me. "Anyway, eat your fill first, then we'll talk." After Mrs. Chen's permission, I began to eat confidently. Meanwhile, I also skillfully answered the probing questions of the ladies. When they asked about the relationship, I just glanced at Mrs. Chen and remained silent. Finally, Mrs. Chen couldn't stand everyone's curious gazes. "This is my daughter, Bai Jiyu." The wealthy ladies immediately started talking to me. "So, this is the child who went missing for 18 years, how pitiful. This child truly resembles you. One look and you know she's your biological daughter." "That's right, living with her birth mother will lead to a better life. No need to dress shabbily like this anymore." Mrs. Chen's lips curved into a smile, promising to take me shopping, but deep down, I felt uncomfortable. Mrs. Chen valued her reputation greatly and had never publicly acknowledged me as her daughter. This also emboldened Chen Yunyun even more. I came here today for her to admit I was her daughter in front of everyone. That evening back home, Mr. Chen was sitting in the living room. "Where's Yunyun? Why isn't she home yet?" The atmosphere seemed tense, and Mrs. Chen quickly called Chen Yunyun. Chen Yunyun returned, reeking of alcohol. When she saw me, she screamed and lunged to slap me. "You bitch, how dare you still show up in my house?" I didn't dodge. With her force, I fell to the ground. Behind me, Mr. Chen looked at Chen Yunyun with a stern expression. Chen Yunyun immediately felt scared. She started using her usual spoiled tactics. She rolled on the floor. "Dad, ever since Bai Jiyu came, you two don't love me anymore. I'm so sad, I'm so heartbroken." Mrs. Chen couldn't bear it and wanted to pull her up. Mr. Chen just gave a glance, stopping Mrs. Chen. His voice deepened. "Yunyun, you've grown up, you should be more sensible." Chen Yunyun didn't understand and continued to throw a tantrum. "I don't care, I don't want to understand, I just want Bai Jiyu to disappear forever." Mr. Chen suddenly slammed the table. "We have spoiled you too much. We agreed not to change Bai Jiyu's surname and not to register her residency with the Chen family. But what have you done? You led the bullying against Jiyu at school, locked her in her room, and even sought out Uncle Tu to expel her. Everyone knows about this. Your parents have both been humiliated by you. I've spoiled you too much. From today, you must stay in your room and reflect for 3 days." Chen Yunyun tried to retort, but Mrs. Chen immediately stepped forward, pulled her up, covered her mouth with one hand, and dragged her to the bedroom. Chen Yunyun looked incredulous. Mr. Chen was clearly the one who loved her the most. Why was he so angry now? Mrs. Chen also seemed strange, not speaking up to defend her. Only after Chen Yunyun left did Mr. Chen open his mouth. "We have dealt with Yunyun. The school will not expel you anymore. You can go to school normally tomorrow." I remained silent. As I prepared to leave, Mr. Chen suddenly said, "I didn't expect you, being so young, to have so many schemes." I knew he was referring to my classmates helping me seek justice. Perhaps it was just because I had good relationships. They, the rich, would never understand true friendship. He didn't understand why expelling just me would cause such a huge storm at school. Because Chen Yunyun alone caused all the boarding students to have nothing to eat. Isn't that reason enough? I didn't stay at the Chen family's house, nor did I return to school. For Chen Yunyun to just stay home and reflect for 3 days so lightly, was that called punishment? I would not accept that. I returned to the rented house with my mother. My mother had prepared her luggage to go back to our hometown. This house, though only 40 square meters, always felt empty to me. I gathered a few simple clothes, deciding to go back to my hometown to find my mother. But as I was about to leave the door, the principal appeared. He carried a pile of fruits. "I won't expel you anymore, hurry back. The group of devil children at school is about to cause trouble. I told Chen Fusheng to solve it, but it seems he can't. The college entrance exam is coming soon, and the 12th grade students are making a fuss about transferring schools. If they all transfer, I won't be able to keep my position as principal." I put down my suitcase. "What about Chen Yunyun? If she sees me at school, she'll target me immediately. I won't go back, I don't want to be watched by others." The principal panicked. "Chen Yunyun, that trash. Just wait, her father already planned to send her abroad after graduation. This time, leaving a year early wouldn't hurt." After saying that, the principal immediately called Mr. Chen Fusheng. He announced an international student exchange slot for Chen Yunyun. "Mr. Chen will consider it." The principal smiled brightly at me. "So the problem is solved. Can you return to school now? Those ancestors said that if they don't see you, they won't forgive. The most important thing is Zia Kiffin. Could you say a good word for me? The library project cannot be stopped, and also Shen Qinghua, the student who was guaranteed admission to Tsinghua, I cannot allow him to transfer schools. Don't forget about He Ningyuan, we must let him help the school win this competition." The principal talked nonstop. I picked up my backpack and walked out. I can go back to school. Life is not a novel. I don't have the ability to make the Chen family go bankrupt. The key high school that I worked so hard to get into, I cannot easily give up. but I will not lose here either. People with money have everything, they value their reputation highly. What Chen Yunyun did made them lose face. Cracks have begun to appear between them. My job is to make those cracks grow bigger. In school, students are not bound by self-interest. That's why there are the purest feelings, and it was the same between Chen Yunyun and her boyfriend, Hu Ziqian. I had been back at school for 3 days. Chen Yunyun also took 3 days off. Hu Ziqian couldn't sit still. He came to me himself asking about Chen Yunyun. I pretended to be surprised. You don't know? Chen Yunyun was chosen as an exchange student abroad. She's leaving next week. Hu Ziqian immediately froze, and after a while he managed to speak. Why is that? The exchange student slot was set for me. I shrugged. Then I don't know. But you can ask the principal. He's Chen Yunyun's uncle, after all. At this point, even a fool would understand where the problem lay. Hu Ziqian thanked me and left. A few days later, the Department of Education received a complaint letter immediately. It accused the principal of Huatian High School of abusing his position to protect his niece. Chen Yunyun only scored 300 points on her high school entrance exam, but was still given special admission to the provincial Key High School. Her academic performance at school was always the worst, yet she repeatedly received national scholarships and became an exchange student. The Department of Education immediately launched a thorough investigation. The principal was also taken away by staff. As for Chen Yunyun, her application for the International Exchange Student Program was rejected. Mr. Chen was furious and locked Chen Yunyun in the house, not allowing her to go out. He, on the other hand, returned to his company, pouring all his energy into work. It wasn't until his stomach ailment recurred that I brought him porridge and discovered it. To avoid worrying Mrs. Chen, Mr. Chen told no one. I was forced to stay at the hospital to care for him for a week. Throughout that week, every time Mr. Chen mentioned Chen Yunyun, his eyes showed deep sadness. Later, Hu Ziqian used the excuse of comforting her to repeatedly sneak Chen Yunyun out. I discreetly revealed this information to Mrs. Chen. Mrs. Chen, who was usually gentle, slapped Chen Yunyun in a fit of rage. Chen Yunyun clutched her face and cried loudly. I knew it. You never considered me your daughter. You don't deserve to be my mother. That evening, Mrs. Chen sat crying in the living room and asked me, can a child without a blood relationship truly not be raised properly? But you and your foster mother clearly live in harmony. I didn't answer, just quietly sat beside her to comfort her. I knew the cracks between them had begun to spread. I didn't need to do anything more. This family was on the verge of falling apart. Moreover, I didn't have time to worry about the Chen family's affairs. Zia Kiffin went to study abroad after graduating from 12th grade. He Ningyuan was directly admitted to a prestigious university through sports recruitment. Currently, he was focusing on preparing for his individual tournament. I hadn't been to school for a long time. I was about to enter 12th grade, and I still had to worry about the food delivery business. Missing 2 staff members at once, I couldn't manage by myself. But luckily, Shen Qinghua stayed to help me. During the summer break of 11th grade, I took a bus back to my hometown. When I saw my mother working in the fields, I ran quickly into her arms. Mom, I missed you so much. She patted my back hard, as if angry that I wasn't trying. You silly child, you could live a comfortable life, but you insist on coming back here to suffer with your mother. I let her pat me, but my heart was filled with joy. My mother never pushed me away again. I told my mother what Mrs. Chen had said in the car. My mother was so angry she cursed. That's truly despicable. Her biological daughter suffered so much to get to her, and not only does she not care, but she also says hurtful things to the child. You did the right thing coming back. I will never abandon you. After school started, my mother and I returned to the rented house near the school. I never set foot in the Chen family's house again. Later, Principal Chen was dismissed from his position for favoritism and corruption. As for Chen Yunyun, she had completed the procedures to drop out of school. Rumor had it that Chen Yunyun was pregnant and locked in her house. The news spread widely among the wealthy ladies. Mrs. Chen no longer appeared at parties. Mr. Chen also became less talkative, occasionally mentioning me to Mrs. Chen. Occasionally, an account would transfer a large sum of money to me. When I knew it was Mr. Chen's account, I didn't return it but saved it. In 10th grade, Shen Qinghua always guided me, so my foundational knowledge was very solid. By 12th grade, I maintained my performance in the top 10 of my grade. Between studying and running the food delivery business, time passed quickly. On the day of the college entrance exam, I nervously walked into the examination room, writing answers that could change my life. When I walked out of the examination room, I saw 3 familiar faces with my mother. Shen Qinghua, He Ningyuan, and Zia Kiffin all came with bouquets of flowers. Congratulations, Bai Jiyu. My mother cooked a meal to treat the 3 of them. At the dinner table, Zia Kiffin asked me, "Now that you've graduated, what about the younger students? Is there no one to run the food errands anymore?" I calmly replied, "I've found a replacement. The business has been handed over to her." After graduating, many friends in the group wanted to take over my business and customer list. I chose a girl with decent academic performance, but a slightly difficult family situation. She was very shy and hesitant to make friends. I hoped my business could help her overcome her current difficulties. The college entrance exam results were announced. I was admitted to Renmin University. I brought my mother with me to Beijing. In my 3rd year of university, I received a call from Mr. Chen. He offered me an internship at the family company to participate in business management. I wasn't clear about Chen Yunyun's current situation, but I felt that Mr. Chen was trying to draw me into the business. I rejected the offer because with my current abilities, I could find better internship opportunities. I wanted to live a better life with my mother.